just woke up, and then
we're in Yepocapa.
This is what we're seeing. That's the volcano over there, smoking in the distance.
It gets better. Even so, it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
Usually, like it's an apple tree or something.
More too.
Please do some of these.
Yeah. And flavor, this is gonna be sweeter.
The deep purples.
Yeah, and then try one of the normal ones.
Hey guys, we're in Yepocapa, Guatemala. So this is Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
For all of you who don't know. And then we buy our Guatemala coffee from him, and it's one of the reasons why we're here. So we get to taste the coffees that are going to be presented or going to be available this year. So that's been really cool to see, and it's our first time actually seeing the farmers and talking to the farmers. So yeah, I wanted Ryan to kind of a little bit explain about his passions and his goals throughout the year, and just what Yepocapa is.
Yeah. So we work with small plot farmers here in Yepocapa, Guatemala, and one of the things that we noticed was profitability amongst all of our farmers was an issue. They weren't able to invest in plant health, or they realized that the prices weren't really worth it to pick their cherries really ripe, and so their quality was also really low. So we kind of had this idea of like, what if we could create relationships with roasters that valued quality, and with farmers that if we could offer prices that gave value to their work, that we could incentivize things like maturation, varietal selection, and plant health in a way that could offer farmers a better price per pound and a chance at seeing coffee farming be a sustainable career. And the byproduct of that could be better coffees for roasters. And so we're kind of in our 4th year of doing this, and we've seen coffees go from 81s, from 79s to 81s upwards to now like 85s, and we're hoping that we might have a few 86s on the table this year. So we're pretty excited to see that, like, especially coffees can come from small plot farmers too.
So what are we doing here? Like, what's the main purpose of this trip as roasters?
I think it's to build relationships between farmers and you guys. A lot of times farmers don't really know where their coffee goes, and so it's really nice to know that coffee makes its way to people that they can also get to know, and so they get to know more about you guys, and it gives more intentionality to their work. They know that their work will ultimately make its way to people, so they can relate to that, and it also encourages them to want to do a better job because they got to meet people like yourselves, and encourages them to do their best. And then for you guys, I think there's just a whole nother world out there for us, like recognizing what are the challenges that farmers face and how often they feel not supported and alone in that, but that if we kind of meet them where they're at, we can kind of both develop and move forward in a way that's kind of mutually beneficial. See them grow and kind of see your business grow in the way that you're going to receive better quality coffees year after year. So this last year has been really amazing. We sold like 2 containers last year that we sold to people like you guys, Sonder in Queen City, and the price point that was paid to the farmers enabled them to make 2.7 times additional profit, more profit. And so that really did 2 things. Not only did it incentivize their work for this next year, to know that, like, wow, if I do a good job, there's actually a sustainable salary in it for me, but additionally, like, they get to use that money in a way that can go back to their families. It doesn't just impact their families, it impacts the community. Farmers kind of have to choose this idea of do I plant varietals that are high production, or do I plant varietals that are high cupping score? And oftentimes you kind of have to choose one or the other. And so I think that's been one hard issue, is helping the farmers realize that investing in plant health is really worthwhile, not only for quality purposes, but for production purposes, and additionally helping them fight off leaf rust, which has just been this massive epidemic, not just in Guatemala, but all over the world from a coffee production perspective. I really want to cup coffees and represent coffees in a way that really gives the farmers honor. Ultimately, they're the reasons why coffee tastes so great. And I really want to make it very, just have our business be very farmer focused. And one of the reasons why we want to help them produce better quality coffees is because I think we can honor them in the way that we taste coffees and the way that we represent them, especially when they do it well. We can give them the honor and that credit in those situations. So honestly, thank you. It's because of buyers, it enables people like myself and some of our other friends like Takea Brown and Devin Barker to interact with these farmers, to kind of look at issues like leaf rust, to address things like profitability, sustainability, to look at quality and processing, and kind of find a way to make adjustments in a way that really improves not only the quality but also the lives of coffee farmers. And really, at the end of the day, it's buyers that kind of make it all possible. So whether it's buyers in the sense of people that buy green coffee, or whether it's buyers in the sense that are wholesale partners through people like yourselves, or whether it's buyers, people that just kind of hop in your shop and want a good cup of coffee. All of those people really matter, and that's kind of like the foundation behind everything that we do here.
Right now, all over Guatemala comes through Ryan and his organization, what he's doing here, and we like it so much. We love what he's supporting, we love what he's doing here, the way he's working with farmers, and it was just a good trip overall. We still have some time here. We're going to be cupping coffees with the farmers tomorrow and actually giving them feedback, which is going to be pretty intense. But all the coffees turned out to be really well this year, especially the ones that Ryan worked with. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool.
So one of the other things, Jorge is the deciding factor of which bags go into which lots. There's no other person that does this. So if these chairs are picked right, they will go into our exportable lots. And then I'll do a percentage. What percentage is this? It's really dark. Right here, so the cherries that sunk before, and now going to come through here. Now sometimes there's little stones, and those little stones are going to be collected, and they're going to be pumped out right down here. So the water is always gushing out right here. And then the cherries are going to continue going through, so it's kind of like a destoner. And they'll go down through here and into the depulp. This is the second layer of separation. So after being depulped, that tank is filled with water. So the pulp and the low density beans are going to float, and that little cylinder machine is going to collect the floaters and the pulp, and all the beans that will sink will go down and will be deposited into a fermentation tank. And we'll go down through this tube, and they'll connect a series of tubes from here into a fermentation tank using a bunch of tubes that are over there lying around. They'll put it into one of these tanks. Now they have certified tanks and they have conventional tanks, and they actually record with Jorge's traceability system which lots were fermented in which tanks, so we can also know if like 2 lots were done on the same day from the same farm but in 2 different tanks. And if there's a difference, we can potentially kind of come back to a certain tank number. It has to go through a fully wash where you're washing off that whatever remaining mucus layer is remaining, you wash that off. But it's also a third step of removing the low density beans that are going to surface to the top of the water that will float. And so there's 3 steps where coffees are being submitted into water to separate low density and high density. So once the coffee reaches its point where it's ready to be washed, they put it into this canal and they allow for the spring water to come through, and they're washing it, wanting kind of for two reasons: one, washing it, and two, wanting to have the low density beans float I would say 20 minutes to a half hour. It depends on how large.
Oh, okay.
The smaller lots, like the micro lots, are actually faster because it's not like that type of coffee.
Is that fruity smell of the cherry?
Yeah.
Fermentation.
So these are the low density beans, the after fermentation. So these are low density. These are also low density beans, and these will be floated and separated, put in that little green basket. And then these coffees we see right here, this is our secondary crop. So these are all lots right here that instead of sinking in water, they floated. And you can also see, like, you've got clean water over there, and then here's a little bit, it's not dirty, but it's just, that's the honey, that mucilage. So we're washing that away. So once all of the pulp and the low density beans have been floated, they're gonna let all the water pass, and then do it a second time to clean it with another.
Do it twice then?
Twice, and sometimes a third time. It just depends on, like, if they do it a second time and they realize this water here is really dirty again, they're gonna do it a third time until they see clean water passing through from start to finish. That's kind of where we'd like to like, we're always going to use water, but we do see more of it using the individual.
There they go. So they go in there and down there.
I'm learning that he always doesn't communicate to me his challenges, so I don't always know that he's struggling with. So we've been doing little lessons, like working one to help. This is a Catura from Pachut, so it's a single varietal microlot from Pachut. It was put in on January 1st, or on the 9th of January, or it's 21st, yeah, 21st of January, that makes more sense. And it's out here drying, so, ¿cómo se sabe cuando está listo? So I said, how do you know when it's ready? And he's like, I can see it when the color is green. So this lot is ready to be. It's got that nice sort of green color.
And it will spread like this. So see, it will start like this, and then like this, and then this whole leaf will die. So see the different colors. It'll infect here, right? And it's putting its little foot down in the stomata, and then it colonizes, and then it starts to sporulate, and those spores travel.
And then, and kind of what we see post-harvest is that the Roya kind of hits it more significantly so. So some of the plants, they can see this like little bit of leaf rust on there.
Yeah, right. Actually affects usually like at the time of harvest. So when we talk about infections, it's really affecting the next year's harvest. So it can hit like middle of harvest, but you're still getting the harvest that had set from that year, right? And then it generally affects the next year's.
We just saw nothing.
Some of his plants were Catimoris. And Catimoris, they can be resistant to leaf rust, which is one of the reasons why farmers have wanted to plant it.
That makes sense.
So finding a varietal that works well with their climate, but also has good cupping score is kind of the direction we want to move toward.